Everyone is now in the future. It's completely demolished. Fire everywhere, destroyed buildings. Vector says, I did not sign up for this. Amy says, stop being such a baby. A large monster appears behind them, about to swing its bat. Sonic spin dashes it, knocking the wind out of it. Tails says, that was a close one. A building is about to crumble down on Tails. Espio, Charming, Vector, and Amy. Espio about to cut the building in half with a sword stops. The building stops moving with blue aura around it. Sonic looks up and it's Sliver. Sliver destroys it in little tiny pieces using his telekinesis powers. Sliver lands back on the ground. Long time no see, huh? Sliver says. Sonic says, what happened here? Sliver says, I will tell you guys the full story when the time comes. You guys came here wrong time and wrong place. Do you guys mind helping me kill these guys? Amy says, not at all. Everyone spilts up. Vector and Charmy stand there. Vector says, am not built for this. Espio cuts down every monster he sees, even though they are not the easiest to beat. Amy smashes monsters with hammer. Sonic takes most of them down with his immeasurable speed. Sonic looks up. A purple portal summons. More monsters come out of the portal. Everyone else notices that too. Vector and Charmy get attacked. Vector manages to defeat it. As Vector celebrates, another monster comes from behind. The monster stops its attack. A blazing fire hits it. It falls to the ground. Blaze has saved them. Vector? Blaze says. What are you guys doing here? Vector says, we're kind of here because of Sonic. Blaze says, Sonic is here too? Charmy says, yep. Vector says, Sonic, Tails, Espio, Amy, and Espio are here. Charmy says, you already said Espio. Blaze says, none of you guys should be here, it's too dangerous. Leave while you still can. Blaze runs away. Tails says, the energy these portals are giving are crazy. The real question is, where is it coming from? Sliver kills more monsters until he stumbles across Espio. Hey Espio, Sliver says. Espio looks up at Sliver and stops. Long time no see, Sliver. Sliver says, how come you guys came all the way over here? Or did something happen in your world? Espio says, yes, we need you and Blaze's help. Eggman called war on us and now we need to prepare. Sliver says, all right, let's make a deal. If you help us, we'll help you. Deal? Espio says, deal. A horde of monsters attacks Sliver and Espio. The beasts are too strong to fight against. Espio slices one of their legs, but one comes from behind and backhands Espio onto a building. Espio tries to get up, but one of the monsters polymerize him. Sliver tries to help, but there are too many to fight off. Sliver pushes them all back and uses Ruler's hand to destroy them all. There's only one left, the one beating up Espio. Sliver rushes to the monster but is quickly tackled to the ground. Sliver uses telekinesis to push it back. As it's in the air, Espio slices the monster in half. Both Sliver and Espio are catching air. Sliver says, you alright, Espio? Espio says, yeah, never been better. Knuckles lays down near the Master Emerald, drinking water. Knuckles starts throwing punches for fun. He looks behind him and sees dozens of people. Knuckles says, who invited you here? The leader of the group stands in front. My name is Nova, and we are the Legion clan. We come from a very rich history. Knuckles says, okay, can you guys get off of my island? Nova says, I'm afraid I can't do that. Knuckles says, why can't you? Nova responds, we are not leaving until we retrieve the Master Emerald. Knuckles says, as the protector of this island, am not letting you even touch a microscopic piece of the Master Emerald. Nova says, we can do it the easy way or the hard way. Knuckles says, I prefer the hard way. Nova rattles her chains. Nova says, go get 'em, boys. Knuckles fends them off. Most of the members go for the emerald. Knuckles slams the on the ground, making sure they don't even touch it. Nova tells one of the members to go to her. She gives him her chains. Nova says, go retrieve that emerald. He leaps at Knuckles and swings Nova's chain. Knuckles snapped in half and throws aside. One of the members were close on getting the emerald, but Knuckles smashes the ground. Nova says, I'm pretty sure this is Knuckles the Echidna, known for this deadly strength. He's taking my soldiers like nothing. This guy must be stoked one way or another. Half of the members have already been defeated. Knuckles backhands one and kicks the other one. They all launch at Knuckles, but just with one punch they all get defeated. Knuckles stares at Nova saying, you're next. Nova smiles. I must give you credit when it's due, but you won't get so lucky with me. Nova uses telekinetic powers to hold Knuckles in place. Knuckles says, what the? No, don't you dare touch it. Nova said, Knuckles the Echidna, sorry to say this, but it's mine now. Nova thinks something. Instead of just keeping it, she should use it against Knuckles. She raises her 2 arms on the emerald. The ground begins to shake. She transforms dramatically. When revealed, she has 2 extra arms and a yellow aura around her. She gets into her fighting position, staring at Knuckles. Supernova says, here I come. Sonic finds Blaze killing monsters. She sensed something behind her and attacked Sonic. Sonic managed to catch her fist. Still as sharp as ever, says Sonic. Blaze says, so do you want to explain why you're here? Sonic explains the story. Sonic asks, how come there's monsters all over the place? Blaze says, well, there's a god called Hindu, and he's not a nice god, he's the worst out the bunch. He can summon all these portals with monster inside of it. He can do it non-stop. Sonic says, how did this all start? Blaze responds, he's the god of fury. When we came in your dimension, he got real mad because we broke the rules of space and time. He won't stop until we're killed. Now you're dragged into this, you shouldn't have came here, Sonic. Sonic says, don't worry, we'll take this guy down. Blaze says, how? Sonic says, I'll think about when the time comes. Blaze looks at Sonic. Sonic says, what? Amy is having trouble fending off them monsters. Her hammer is nearly broken and is exhausted. Amy says, I don't know how much longer I'll last. The monster slaps her to the ground. Amy says, I need you, Sonic, with a desperate expression. Amy tries to get back up, but the monster stomps her on the ground. Amy screams. Vector sees this and body slam the monster. Vector and the monster have an intense fight. Vector tries to punch it in the face, but the monster parries it. Then grabbing his neck, Charmy stings the monster's leg, making it let go of Vector. Vector polymerizes it. The monster tries to get back up, but Vector punches its face, ending the fight. Vector says, Amy, you all right? Amy says, yeah, thank you so much for saving me. Sliver and Espio fight more monsters. As they defeat them, another portal summons. Sonic sees this and thinks of something. What if he goes in that portal? Sonic finds out. Sonic uses his speed to get to the portal, beating up all of the monsters in his way. He gets to the portal and enters. A horde of monsters are there. The portal closes. Amy says, guys who just went into the portal? Vector's eyes widen. It was probably Sonic. Amy says, you might be right. Their plan is to get everyone together to tell them what they think happened. They find Espio and Sliver. They told them what happened and Sliver goes get Blaze. Sliver finds her fighting a lot of monsters. Sliver helps her defeat them. Sliver says, Blaze, come with me. Blaze follows. Sonic is beating the monster, but Sonic is starting to get tried. Sonic has a hard time defending himself. Sonic gets punched in the face. Sonic stumbles. Sonic tries to get back up, but all the monsters beat on him. Sonic spin dashes some of them, but he's out of energy. Sonic is becoming slower and it's not looking good. Sonic tries to find a safe place, but there is no safe place. There's still about 100 more of them left. Sonic needs to stall for time for the portal to appear. And that happens when everyone defeats the monsters. Blaze introduces their hideout. Sliver and other survivors have been staying. The place is all over the place. Blaze says, all right, you guys, your shift is starting. The survivors head out. Amy says, wait, isn't that a bit dangerous for them to kill those monsters? Blaze says, they have the right materials. We've done this for 3 months. Amy says, 3 months? How come you guys didn't ask for our help? Sliver says, Blaze is stubborn from getting help, and 2, we don't have time machines and stuff. They all sit down and eat food. The food is really bad. All they can eat is gooey stuff that probably isn't good. They all discuss about their situation. There's 5 portals, and every time they kill all the monsters, one of the portals summon. Sliver asks, which portal did Sonic get into? Amy said, the one in the sky. Charmy says, it was cool seeing the portals. Sonic finally defeated all of the monsters. Sonic is unbelievably tired. Sonic says, my arms are about give up. A dark red portal summons underneath Sonic. Sonic falls through the portal. Sonic hits the ground. The sky's blood red, rivers are lava, the ground is orange. It's like a hell. Sonic gets back up. A 15-foot beast sits in its throne. The mysterious man talks. You surprisingly were able to kill my demons. I must give you admiration, that was no small feat. Sonic says, is this your island? My island? This is my domain. Unfortunately for you, your fate is sealed here. Sonic says, are you Hindu? The demon speaks, oh yes I am. Why are you concerned? Sonic dashes at Hindu. Hindu summoned thousands of monsters. They all attack Sonic. Sonic focuses and gets serious. This is a life or death situation. Sonic uses all of what he has. Sonic takes down a lot of monsters. Sonic gets slammed on the ground. Sonic breaks the monster's arm, then snapping his kek. Sonic says, who's next? All the monsters are fearful and back up. Hindu says to himself, maybe I underestimated him. Now at Angel Island, Knuckles is getting pushed back. Nova says, come on, is this all you got? Nova swings her staff, almost hitting Knuckles. Knuckles tries to Superman punch her, but she nearly pushes Knuckles off the island. Knuckles is hanging on the side of the island. Just with one glare, Nova breaks the area Knuckles is hanging onto. Knuckles just barely gets back on the island. Knuckles realizes he can reduce the transformation because he's the protector. Knuckles tries, but nothing happens. Nova punches him all the way to space, then kicking back down to Angel Island. Knuckles hits the surface, nearly breaking the entire island. Knuckles tells himself, I can't beat this guy, no matter what I do. I'm just getting overpowered. Nova teleports in front of Knuckles. She pierces her staff to Knuckles' head. Knuckles dodges and lands a clean kick to the face, then sending 4 punches to the gallbladder, making Nova stand back. Nova uses her real strength. A dark red surrounds her. Knuckles is astonished by the power. Nova might even be stronger than Supersonic. The sky turns dark. Nova gives Knuckles a death stare. She polymerizes him. Knuckles gasps for air, but he gets sent back. Knuckles is hurt and is trying. He can't keep fighting forever. Nova makes a ball of energy that can destroy space and time itself. Knuckles stands there helpless. Knuckles knows it's the end for him. As Nova is about to shoot, Shadow teleports in front of the blast and uses Chaos Blast. Nova backs up, saying, who the hell are you? Shadow says, the last ever thing you see. Knuckles says, Shadow, where did you come from? Shadow responds, none of your business. Focus on defeating the enemy. Knuckles gets up. Knuckles and Shadow stand aside. They both get into their fighting pose. The island begins to fall out of the sky. Nova doesn't know what happened. Both Shadow and Knuckles hold on to the ground. The island hits the ground. Knuckles and Shadow gets back up. Nova is nowhere to be seen. Shadow says, did she run away? Knuckles says, definitely not. I can sense the Master Emerald's presence. She's somewhere. Shadow says, if you can sense it, then why can't you find it? Knuckles says, it doesn't work like that. Nova teleports in front of Shadows and gut punches him, sending him to a mountain. Knuckles looks at Nova and says, here we go. Eggman arrives on a dark red planet. Everyone gets out of the ship and they look around. They don't see any life on the planet. Infinite asks Eggman, are you sure this planet has life? Eggman says, yup, we just have to find strong people. Infinite says, if you're looking for strong people, then we should probably go back to Earth because this planet is wasting our time. As Eggman is about to say something, there's a huge explosion near the huge mountain. Infinite rushes there. Minako, Hero fight a leopard-looking person. They get absolutely speed blitzed by the figure. Minako turns on his monster form, and Hero takes off a ring on his finger that slows him down. They both rush at the leopard. The leopard invades all the attacks. Hero is about to get a hit on the leopard, but it uses a barrier. Hero is sent back. Minako strikes at the leopard viciously. The leopard says, what do you guys even want from me? Hero says to join us. The leopard says, not a day in your life. Nikushimi comes out of nowhere saying, you might want to consider... The leopard says, a 3-on-1. This might be a good workout. Nikushimi says, we don't want to fight. Hero says, I do. Nikushimi says, you don't have a saying in this. Hero attacks at the leopard, but Nikushimi holds him down. Infinite arrives. The leopard says, how many more of you are there? Nikushimi says, do you want to join us? The leopard says, no. Eggman finally catches up saying, see Infinite, there is life on this planet. The leopard says, you guys are from a different planet. Infinite says, yes, you can join us if you want to get out of this hellhole. The leopard thinks about. The leopard says, I might as well. Some comes out of nowhere and throws its boomerang. Hero catches it. The wolf says, Koji, what are you doing? According to my calculations, these are strong people, which means they're the predator. Koji says, pack up your things, Yoko, we're out of here. Yoko says, yes, sir. Koji says, that's the smartest person we have on this planet. Eggman says, smartness that can rival mine. Koji says, who is this bum? To Nikushimi. Nikushimi says, that is our leader. Back at the future, 8 portals appear in the sky. At least 2,000 monsters appear. Vector says, holy crap. Charmy says, I know Vector can't take these down. Vector says, oh, shut up, Charmy. The monsters hit the ground. Espio and Sliver once again work together to beat some of the monsters up. Amy is having trouble because she's fighting 20 at once. The other survivors are holding against them pretty well. Tails says, we probably will be able to only take down half of them before we'll have to retreat. I wonder how Sonic's holding off. Sonic kicks the hell out of a monster's head, then following that with a sweep to another monster. Hindu says, I admire your admiration, but at the end of the day you will fall, just like your other friends. You all die today. Sonic says, "You're too scared to fight me yourself, so you have to make your soldiers fight for you. How pathetic for a god." Hindu says, "I will make you regret saying that." Hindu summons his bright orange scythe. Hindu uses a technique called Deep Dark Mist of the Fiery Dragon. It heads straight to Sonic. Sonic was barely able to avoid the attack. Sonic only got a burn on his arm. A big boom releases in the sky. More monsters attack at Sonic. Sonic spin dashes at them. One was able to catch him, and Bear Huge hugs him. Sonic starts to lose oxygen. Hindu stands up from his throne and walks to Sonic. Hindu says, "I told you, you couldn't win this one. There's no one to save you now. It's just you and me." Hindu smokes. Sonic bites the monster arm, making it let go of him, then hits Hindu in a vital area. Sonic throws a series of punches to Hindu, but he blocks all of them. Hindu uses Fire of the Homing Gods. That sends Sonic flying. Then Hindu finishes it with a backhand to the ground. Hindu says, "You can run, but you can't hide." Sonic says, "He's definitely playing with me. Am like a cat, and he's the laser pointer." Vector and Charmy fight a lot of monsters. Charmy gets real tired and passes out. Vector sees one of the survivors fighting another monsters. Vector says, "Hey, do you mind if you bring my friend back to your hideout?" The survivor doesn't respond. More monsters run at Vector. One gut punches Vector. As another monster tries to decapitate him, Vector blocks. Vector hits the ground, trying to catch some air. He sees Charmy getting beat on by the monsters. Vector tries to save Charmy, but he gets slammed on the ground. When all hope was lost, Amy comes and saves them. Blaze uses Blazing Tornado to send the monsters back. Blazes says, "Are you okay, Vector?" Vector says, "Charmy." Both Blaze and Amy look at each other. They rush to Charmy. Charmy coughs out blood. Charmy says, "Help." Tails arrives too. Tails says, "What's going on?" Amy says, "We have to bring Charmy back to the hideout." Tails says, "Wait." Tails takes out a potion from out his bag. Tails says, "I only bought 3, so I was trying to save them for later if needed." Tails puts the potion in Charmy's mouth. Charmy says, "I feel so much better." Tails says, "It will take the pain away, but the wounds will stay. Now with that said, let's put these things into their misery." Everyone says, "Yeah." Blaze says, "I have a bad idea." Everyone looks at her. Blaze says, "Maybe if I destroy the city, then another portal will open." Tails says, "No, that's way too dangerous. If beyond the surface, then that's it for us. We have to think of something else." Tails gets slammed into a wall by a monster. Amy decapitated with her hammer. Vector goes to get Talus. Vector says, "That didn't look so good, are you okay?" Tails says, "Yeah, just a little scratch or two." Sliver and Espio destroyed all the monsters in their area. Espio and Sliver encounter everyone else. Sliver says, "Hey guys, what's going on?" Blaze says, "Come here." The plan is, once the portal opens, they will enter the portal. Tails and Charmy will carry Vector, and Blaze will carry Amy and Espio. Sliver will push back all the monsters that come their way, then they enter. After a while, a portal finally opens. Monsters come flying out, but Sliver pushes them back. They finally enter the portal. It's a dark room. There's nothing. Espio says, "What is this?" Charmy says, "Oh no, we died." Espio says, "We didn't die." Charmy says, "Then where are we?" Hindu is about to finish Sonic, but he noticed something. Hindu says, "Looks like your friends are trying to save you." Hindu says, "Open." Everyone now enters the demon realm. They all hit the ground. Blaze's eyes widen. Blaze says, That's the god, Hindu." Tails rushes to Sonic, giving him a potion. Sonic drinks it. Sonic says, "What happened? I fell energetic." Tails says, "It took away the pain and gave you more energy, but however, it does not heal your wounds." Sliver yells out, "So you're the one who made our future a living hell. We're about to make your life a living hell now." Sonic says, "Sliver, don't get too overconfident. He easily defeated me. And that says a lot." Hindu says, "Let the games begin."